Today's topic is gross anatomy of urethra. Male urethra is a membranous canal for external discharge of urine and seminal fluid. It is around 18 to 20 centimeter long. It extends from the internal urethral orifice to the external urethral orifice. This is the internal urethral orifice and this is the external urethral orifice. So it extends from the internal urethral orifice to the external urethral orifice. In flaccid state of the penis, the long axis of the urethra presents two curvatures and is therefore S-shaped. In erect state of penis, the distal curvature disappears and becomes J-shaped. This is proximal curvature. This is distal curvature. तो in flaccid state में क्या हुआ? Long axis of the urethra present two curvature, proximal and distal curvature. Therefore, it is S-shaped. And in erect state of the penis, the distal curvature disappears and it becomes J-shaped. Parts of the urethra. Urethra divided into three parts: prostatic part, membranous part, and spongy, or also known as penile part. The prostatic part passes through the prostate. This is the prostate. It is around 3 centimeter in length. The membranous part passes through urogenital diaphragm. This is urogenital diaphragm, and it is about 1.5 to 2 centimeter in length. The spongy part or penile part passes through the bulb and corpus spongiosum of the penis. This is the bulb of penis. This is corpus spongiosum. So the spongy part passes through the bulb and corpus spongiosum of the penis. It is around 15 centimeter in length. Prostatic part. Prostatic part begins at the internal urethral orifice. This is the internal urethral orifice and runs vertically downwards to the anterior part of the prostate. This is the anterior part. This is the posterior part. So it passes downward through the anterior part of the prostate. Prostatic part is the widest and most dilatable part of the male urethra, widest in its middle and narrowest where it joins the membranous urethra. The prostatic part and membranous part together form the posterior urethra, and spongy portion forms the anterior urethra. So this is the anterior urethra and this is the posterior urethra. Posterior urethra में कौन-कौन से part है? Prostatic and membranous part together form the posterior urethra. Prostatic urethra में क्या-क्या चीजें consider की जाती है? Urethral crest. What is urethral crest? Urethral crest is a median longitudinal ridge of mucous membrane. तो इसके जो prostatic urethra है तो इसके posterior wall में mucous membrane से एक longitudinal ridge का formation हुआ known as urethral crest. So this is the urethral crest. In this picture, this is the urethral crest. Colliculus seminalis, also known as verumontanum. What is colliculus seminalis? Elevation on the middle of the urethral crest. इस urethral crest के middle में एक further elevation है known as colliculus seminalis or verumontanum. On colliculus seminalis, there is opening of prostatic utricle. So this is the opening of prostatic utricle. On each side of the opening of prostatic utricle, there are opening of ejaculatory ducts. तो यहाँ पे opening है prostatic utricle की और उसके side में opening है ejaculatory duct की. On each side of the opening of prostatic utricle, there are opening of ejaculatory ducts. Now come to the prostatic sinus. What is prostatic sinus? The prostatic sinus are two vertical grooves situated on each side of the urethral crest. This is the urethral crest. इसके side में ये two vertical grooves हैं known as prostatic sinus. इसमें क्या ओपन होता है? Containing openings of about 20 to 30 prostatic glands. यहाँ पे ये prostatic glands की यहाँ पे ये opening दिख रही है. Around 20 to 30 prostatic glands है जिनकी prostatic sinus में ये opening दिख रही है. What is prostatic utricle? The prostatic utricle is a mucus cul-de-sac about 6 mm extend upward and backward from the colliculus behind the median lobe of the prostate. This is the median lobe of the prostate. This is anterior lobe, this is posterior lobe, and this is median lobe of the prostate. So this is prostatic utricle. It is also called as uterus masculinus, as it is derived from the united lower ends of atrophic mullerian ducts and therefore homologous with the uterus and vagina in the female. So this is the prostatic utricle. Membranous part of the urethra. This is the membranous part of the urethra. So the membranous part runs downward and slightly forward through the deep perineal space. This is the deep perineal space and pierce the perineal membrane. This is a perineal membrane about 2.5 centimeter below and behind the pubic symphysis. This is pubic symphysis. This is a membranous urethra. So the membranous urethra runs downward and slightly forward through the deep perineal space and pierce the perineal membrane about 2.5 centimeter below and behind the pubic symphysis. It is the narrowest and least dilatable part of the urethra. It is surrounded by the inspector urethrae or external urethral inspector. So ये है external urethral inspector. Bulbourethral glands of Cooper, this is the bulbourethral glands, are placed on one each side of the membranous urethra. Membranous urethra के ये दोनों साइड में क्या है? Bulbourethral glands of Cooper. Ducts of the glands open into the spongy part of the urethra after piercing the perineal membrane. तो ये जो glands है ये situated है both sides of the membranous urethra, लेकिन open कहाँ जाके हो रही है? Spongy part of the urethra में जाके open हो रही है. So the membranous part of the urethra is narrowest and least dilatable part of the urethra. Spongy part of the urethra. This is a spongy part of the urethra, also known as penile part of urethra. Fixed part in the bulb of penis. This is the bulb of penis. So this is the fixed part, and free part in the corpus spongiosum. ये इसका free part है. Terminates at the external urethral orifice. यहाँ पे यह जगह terminate करता है. So terminate at the external urethral orifice. Has uniform diameter of about 6 mm. It has two dilatation in the bulb of penis. This dilatation is known as intrabulbar fossa, and in the glans penis, this dilatation is known as navicular fossa or terminal fossa. Ducts of the bulbourethral glands open into the fixed part of the penile urethra about 2.5 centimeter below the perineal membrane. This is the perineal membrane. यहाँ पे bulbourethral glands open करते हैं इस point पर around 2.5 centimeter below the perineal membrane. Urethral lacunae projects from the entire urethra part of the urethra except in the terminal fossa, which receives openings of the urethral glands known as Little's glands. तो यहाँ पे ये Little's glands की opening है spongy part of the urethra में. यहाँ पे ये डिसीज हैं, छोटे छोटे डिसीज हैं, नॉन एज यूरेथ्रल लैक्यूने। इसमें पूरे यूरेथ्रा में ये लैक्यूने होते हैं एक्सेप्ट द टर्मिनल पार्ट ऑफ द urethra. Lacuna present in the roof of navicular fossa is the largest and is known as lacuna magna. तो इसमें इसके टर्मिनल पार्ट में ये लैक्यूने नहीं है, लेकिन जो ये इसका जो नेविकुलर फोसा है, इसके रूफ में एक बड़ा सा लैक्यूना है नॉन एज लैक्यूना मैग्ना और साइनस ऑफ गेरे, दिस वन. So this is about the spongy part of the urethra. इसमें टू डायलिटेशन है, इंट्रा बल्बर फोसा एंड नेविकुलर फोसा. यहाँ पे ये बल्बो यूरेथ्रल ग्लैंड्स की ओपनिंग है और यहाँ पे ये ग्लैंड्स ऑफ ट्रे की ओपनिंग है. यहाँ सारी इसमें पूरे इसमें यूरेथ्रा है और इसमें रिसिस है नॉन एज यूरेथ्रल लैक्यूने पूरे स्पॉन्जी यूरेथ्रा में, except in the terminal fossa which receives opening of urethral glands. So this is about the spongy part of the urethra. Sphincter of the urethra. Internal urethral sphincter. This is the internal urethral sphincter and this is the external urethral sphincter. Internal urethral sphincter, also known as sphincter vesicae, surrounds the internal urethral orifice. This is the internal urethral orifice surrounded by the internal urethral sphincter formed from the muscles of bladder wall. Is involuntary in nature and it is supplied by the sympathetic fibers T11 to L2. It relaxes during urination but contracts during ejaculation to prevent the retrograde entry of the semen into the bladder. So this is the main function of the internal urethral sphincter. He relax रहता है during the urination but contract during the ejaculation to prevent the retrograde entry of semen into the bladder. Now, and this is involuntary in nature. Come to the external sphincter or also known as sphincter urethrae, surrounds the membranous part of the urethra. This is a membranous part of the urethra formed by the sphincter urethrae muscles, is voluntary in nature and it is supplied by the pudendal nerve S2, S3, S4. So internal urethral sphincter is involuntary and external sphincter is voluntary in nature. Female urethra. This is a female urethra. Is only 4 cm long and 6 mm in diameter. It begins at the internal urethral orifice, traverses the urogenital diaphragm, and ends at the external urethral orifice in the vestibule anterior to the opening of the vagina. Collection of mucous glands on one each side of the upper part of the urethra are called paraurethral glands of skin are homologous to prostate. तो मेल के केस में प्रोस्टेट होती है, उसके होमोलोगस क्या है, पैरायूरेथ्रल ग्लैंड्स ऑफ स्किन. द फीमेल यूरेथ्रा इजीली डायलेटेबल. इसमें 6 mm है इसका डायमीटर और इसकी लेंथ भी ओनली 4 cm है, तो इसमें कैथेटराइजेशन भी इजी होता है और ये इजीली डायलेटेबल है. सो दिस इज अबाउट द फीमेल यूरेथ्रा. Now, what is difference between male urethra and female urethra? The male urethra is long, female urethra is short. Its length around 18 to 20 centimeter. Its length only 4 centimeter. Function of the male urethra is urination and ejaculation of semen. The main function of the female urethra is only urination. It is curved. It has two curvature, proximal and distal curvature. It is straight in course. Follis catheterization is very easy in case of female, it's tough in case of female, because in male the urethra has a straight course and in case of male it has a curved course. So Catheterization is tough in case of male urethra. So these are the difference between male and female urethra. Transverse section of the different part of the urethra. यूरेथ्रा की सारी लेंथ में एक जैसा डायमीटर नहीं होता है, डिफरेंट डिफरेंट पार्ट्स में डायमीटर अलग है और उसकी शेप भी अलग है. प्री प्रोस्टेटिक पार्ट, यहाँ पे जो प्रोस्टेटिक यूरेथ्रा है तो इससे ऊपर वाले पार्ट को जो यहाँ पे इस पोजीशन पर होता है उसको बोलते हैं प्री प्रोस्टेटिक पार्ट. तो यहाँ पे शेप कैसे होगी, स्टेलेट शेप. फिर प्रोस्टेटिक पार्ट में शेप कैसी होगी, क्रिसेंट्रिक शेप और सेमिलुनार शेप. इसके मेम्ब्रेनस पार्ट में किस तरह से शेप होगी, स्टेलेट शेप. और बल्बार एंड पेनाइल पार्ट में ट्रांसवर्स स्लिट शेप. और एक्सटर्नल यूरेथ्रल ओरिफिस पे तो शेप होगी सैजिटल स्लिट शेप. तो इसमें डिफरेंट डिफरेंट पोजीशन पे शेप इसकी डिफरेंट है और इसके मेजरमेंट भी डिफरेंट है. तो एक जैसे स्मूथ डायमीटर इसका नहीं होता है यूरेथ्रा का. सो इसका सिग्निफिकेंस क्या हुआ, द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ डिफरेंट शेप इज मेंटेन द कंटिन्यूअस स्ट्रीम ऑफ यूरिन फ्लो, जिसकी वजह से प्रोजेक्टाइल स्ट्रीम होगी. सो the transverse, this is about the transverse section of the different part of the urethra. Prostatic stellate shape, prostatic crescentic shape, membranous stellate shape, bulbar and penile part, transverse slit shape, external urethral orifice पे shape कैसी होगी, sagittal slit shape. Now come to the blood supply of the urethra. Male urethra को blood supply कैसे होगी, the urethra in the bladder neck and the prostatic urethra are supplied by the prostatic branches of the inferior vesicle and middle rectal arteries. तो जो प्रोस्टेटिक पार्ट है और जो प्री प्रोस्टेटिक पार्ट है जो ब्लैडर नेक के पास है, तो उसको ब्लड सप्लाई किससे हुई, प्रोस्टेटिक ब्रांचेस ऑफ द inferior vesicle and middle rectal artery से. The intermediate and spongy parts of the urethra are supplied by the internal pudendal artery. The veins are accompanies the arteries and have the similar names. Lymphatic drainage. The prostatic urethra drained into the internal iliac group of lymph node. Membranous urethra drained into the internal iliac lymph nodes. And anterior urethra and glands drained into the deep inguinal group of lymph node. So this is about the lymphatic drainage of urethra. Now come to the nerve supply. Nerve supply by the autonomic nerves, mainly sympathetic fibers from the superior hypogastric plexus L1 to L2 segment, parasympathetic fibers from the S2 to S4 segment, and somatic fibers from the pudendal nerve. So the somatic nerve कौन सी है, pudendal nerve. Development of male urethra. The upper part of the prostatic urethra develops from the endoderm of the distal end of the vesico-urethral part of the cloaca plus absorbed part of the mesonephric duct. तो ये जो अपर पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोस्टेटिक यूरेथ्रा किससे डेवलप हुआ, वेसाइको-यूरेथ्रल पार्ट ऑफ द क्लोएका एंड एब्जॉर्ब पार्ट ऑफ द मेसोनेफ्रिक डक्ट. The lower part of the prostatic urethra plus membranous urethra derives from the endoderm of the upper pelvic part of the definitive urogenital sinus, and spongy urethra derives from the phallic part of the definitive urogenital sinus plus migrating ectoderm of the glans pilus. So this is about the development of male urethra. Now come to the applied anatomy of the urethra. Urethritis. The infection and inflammation of urethra is known as urethritis. The most common pathogenic element for this infection is gonorrhea. Rupture of the urethra. The rupture of the urethra is very common due to the injury by a fall, stride or straddle. Fall stride, fall on the surface keeping legs apart so that injury goes to the perineum. A straddle, a traumatic fracture of all pubic rami often associated with the injury to the urethra. Now come to the other anomalies of the urethra. Hypospadias. This is a normal picture of urethral opening. But in hypospadias, the urethra opens at under surface of the penis. इसके ventral surface पे urethra की opening होगी. This condition is known as hypospadias. And the other condition, epispadias, urethra opens on the dorsum of the penis. So this is picture of the hypospadias. Urethra opens at the under surface of the penis. Urethra open at the under surface of the penis. In case of epispadias, the urethra opens on the dorsum of the penis. Okay, so this is the case of epispadias, and this is case of hypospadiasis. This is very important question. इसमें एक शॉर्ट नोट आता है, रप्चर ऑफ द यूरेथ्रा इन मेल. रप्चर किस तरह से होगा कि अगर रप्चर मेम्ब्रेनस पार्ट में है तो पिक्चर कुछ और होगी, और अगर वो स्पॉन्जी पार्ट में है तो पिक्चर कुछ अलग होगी. तो यहाँ पे अगर मेम्ब्रेनस पार्ट में रप्चर होता है फ्रैक्चर ऑफ पेल्विक गटर की वजह से, तो फिर क्या होगा कि एक्स्ट्रावर्सेशन ऑफ यूरिन एंड ब्लड goes into the deep perineal pouch, passes superiorly through the urogenital hiatus and goes into the extraperitoneal space around the prostate and urinary bladder. तो यहाँ पे जब मेम्ब्रेनस यूरेथ्रा में रप्चर हो जाता है तो एक्स्ट्रावर्सेशन कहाँ होता है, एक्स्ट्रा पेरिटोनियल space around the prostate and bladder. So this is a picture of rupture of urethra at the membranous part. अगर रप्चर स्पॉन्जी पार्ट में इंजिटू द बल्ब ऑफ पेनिस पे इंजरी होती है, तो अगर स्पॉन्जी पार्ट में यूरेथ्रा का रप्चर है तब एक्स्ट्रावर्सेशन ऑफ द यूरिन फ्रॉम द यूरेथ्रा goes in the superficial perineal space, passes through the scrotum, penis and anterior abdominal wall in the plane deep to the scarpa fascia. तो जब स्पॉन्जी यूरेथ्रा का रप्चर होगा तो एक्स्ट्रावर्सेशन कहाँ होगा, स्क्रोटम में, पेनिस में, एंटीरियर एब्डोमिनल वॉल में. लेकिन ये थाई में नहीं जाएगा क्योंकि थाई का फेशिया और स्कार फेशिया होल्डेंस लाइन पे टाइटली फ्यूज्ड होते हैं, तो इस वजह से थाई में इसका एक्सटेंशन नहीं होता. तो स्पॉन्जी यूरेथ्रा के रप्चर होने से एक्स्ट्रावर्सेशन होता है स्क्रोटम में, पेनिस में एंड एंटीरियर एब्डोमिनल वॉल में. सो दिस इज अबाउट द रप्चर ऑफ द यूरेथ्रा in male. This is about the topic